And just like that, the Warriors are back at 500 at 15-15, winning their second in a row, blowing out the Orlando Magic, outscoring them in the second half 62-40. Stephen Curry, 18 of his 26 in the final two quarters, including 15 in the third quarter alone. And the Warriors will feel good heading into Christmas Day when they take on the Dallas Mavericks right here at Chase Center, as we welcome everybody to Toyota Warriors post-game live here at the Gatehouse at Thrive City, the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, NBA champion Festus Ezeli. I am Bonte Hill. Fezzi, we talked about points in the paint. We talked about turnovers. Well, the Warriors were the bigger team on the glass, bigger team in the paint, and they limited the turnovers tonight.
Wait, Bonte, you see defense tonight. You saw rebounding. You saw taking care of the ball and points in the paint. What is going on? I really enjoyed watching this game by the Warriors. This was a very mature game by the Warriors. Taking care of the ball was the scouting report. That's what the Warriors talked about the whole time. We had Mike Dunleavy in pregame. He kept preaching ball care. And tonight the Warriors had 13 turnovers. With that, you saw efficient offense. You saw Steph going off in the second half, 15 points in the third quarter. He really led that comeback, or at least that run in the third quarter that led to them blitzing them in the fourth.
32 assists, and they were not reliant on making three-point shots. You know, we mentioned at halftime they had 30 points in the paint. They averaged 41, 30th in the league. They wound up with 60. That's more than the Orlando Magic average. They averaged 55. So I thought they did a great job of taking what the defense gave them. And when they were missing threes, it didn't affect their energy. They just went right back to work. They had a great third quarter, but then they totally dominated the fourth quarter. And we said at halftime, Steph was 3 for 13, 0 for 6 from three-point range. That was not going to last. He had an incredible second half, and I think the team just rallied around him.
Yeah, Stephen Curry, 7 of 10 from the floor in that second half, 4 of 7 from the three-point line, 18 points. They rolled the Orlando Magic, hold them to 14 points in the fourth quarter to win, go on the way. And standing by with Fitz and Buki is Brandon Podziemski, who had himself another solid night.
So Brandon Podziemski, a new career high, plus 36. What'd you think about that in terms of your floor game? You did everything. You were everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I just try to contribute to winning. Early in the season, I feel like, my performances were up and down in terms of what I was given on the court. And for me now, it's just what can I do to help the team win? And I think, I try to do as much as possible tonight.
I felt like you were in that flow state tonight. And I feel like you being everywhere on the floor, people don't talk about your conditioning enough, how great a shape you're in. Talk to me about like your off-season regimen, how easy it is for you to stay in shape, what you do to stay in shape, all of that stuff.
I mean, this summer was a little challenging. I obviously had 2 surgeries, so I couldn't start my off-season until August. But yeah, just running a lot, running every day. I mean, I got the most conditioned athlete in probably sports history on my team, so asking him for advice on how he does it. But that's what I pride myself on, playing hard, competing every possession. And when you do that over and over again, good things usually happen for you.
Pods, what was the mindset? The threes weren't going down in the first half, and yet the points in the paint, the backdoor cuts, you scored a different way tonight, and that's a good sign because sometimes the threes aren't going to go all the time.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, the more times you touch the paint with the ball, the more shots go in, whether they're threes or twos. And so, obviously, Orlando, long and athletic team, just try to punch the paint and get good looks and play in transition, play fast. And, we did that for the majority of the night, and we didn't turn the ball over that much. So it was an all-around great effort by everybody that stepped on the floor.
And you also kept them from getting their free throws out of control. Like, this is a team in the Magic that are number 1 in the league in free throw attempted, and you guys not only stayed with them, surpassed them there. What's it like going up against a team that has these categories that just stick out, but then controlling them so easily the way you did, or I guess not so easily? It's probably tough on you.
Yeah, big emphasis from last game. I think they had 64 points in the paint, maybe, or something like that. I had a lot of points in transition, a lot of points at the free throw line in Orlando. So just try to make it tough on them and finish at the basket and get it out the net and play fast on the other end. NBA players are going to make tough shots, so don't bail them out, but put them to the free throw line.
We'll let you go with this. You ready for Christmas Day right here at Chase Center? Ready to get it done?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right, Pods. Plus 36, Brandon Podziemski. Thanks for stopping. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. You're the best.
Brandon Podziemski, the best plus-minus of his very young career. He and Moody, fantastic. And Steph and Jimmy were Steph and Jimmy. Warriors come up with the win. They won back-to-back games. Bring on the Mavericks on Christmas Day. They take care of Orlando tonight, 120-97.
16 points for Pods, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 6 of 10 from the floor, and he was very instrumental in that third quarter run for the Golden State Warriors when they blew this game wide open. A really good basketball game in the first half with the Warriors up 1. At one point in the third quarter, Orlando took a 72-66 lead. Steve Kerr called a timeout, made some substitutions, and then the Warriors were off and running. You see that alley-oop right there, Stephen Curry to Gary Payton II. Steph with 15 in third quarter alone. And Jimmy Butler, he's been hitting the three ball this season, Fezzi.
I mean, Jimmy, that was a great shot, big shot right there. Great play by Quentin Post, cutting to the basket. What a finish, big fella.
19-2 run that bled into the fourth quarter where the Warriors held the Magic to just 14 points. Moses Moody, 20 points in the starting role, 8 of 11 from the floor, 3 of 6 from the three-point line. Nice play right there. It's Quentin Post showing the soft touch, just 2 points shy of a double-double. And again, 0.5 basketball, Malik. Nice little and one right there from Pods.
What was so impressive to me, Bounty and Festus, was the Warriors didn't shoot a good percentage from three, but they still got to the paint. Usually you got to shoot the three ball to open up the paint, but the Warriors, 32 assists, just 13 turnovers, and a plus 12 points off turnovers. Like Festus mentioned, we talked to Mike Dunleavy pregame. That's one. If he wanted one thing for Christmas, it was take better care of the basketball. Tonight they did that.
Every possession from the start of the game, you could see an intentionality in taking care of the ball. I saw everybody they were making the home run plays, making sure you run the ball off the court, take care of the basketball. Starts with Brandon Pajemski, starts with Steph Curry, the ball handlers of the team. I thought they did a great job of making quick decisions. Pods, for example, he just got the ball and it was either shoot, drive, or pass. And I thought he was doing a great job getting in the teeth of the defense. He was finishing right there. You saw an end one by him, but he had 5 assists. Creating those kind of quick plays, that's the Warriors' style of offense, and that was what you saw tonight.
And the Warriors beat the Magic at their game. You know, we talked pregame what a great team this Magic team was, points in the paint, averaging 55 per game. The Warriors get 62 points in the paint. We talked about what a great rebounding team they were. The Warriors were plus 15 on second chance points. So all the things that the Orlando Magic did well come into the game, the Warriors beat them at, and they kind of hung around the three-point line. You know, at halftime they were down in the three-point line, but they hung around, shot better from the three-point line, and dominated all other areas.
Okay, if you're going to talk about second chance points, I got to give a quick shout-out to big fella Quentin Post.
There you go.
12 big rebounds by the big fella. That's how you play big when you're 7 feet tall. Gary Payton II as well, 2 big offensive rebounds. I thought every 50-50 ball that was out there that either team could have gotten, the Warriors got.
No doubt.
If you watch the clip, if you watch every time there was a loose ball, there was a turnover, Jimmy Butler was falling out of bounds. He throws the ball back behind him. That's usually a fast break for the other team. Quentin Post dives on the floor, dives on the basketball. That's a 3. Those plays just continue to add up slowly and slowly. And those plays, even when you weren't making threes, you were getting shots at the basket, and eventually that the basket just broke open.
I mean, how many times have you sat here and talked about diversifying your offense and not relying just on three-point shots? Tonight, the three-point shot not going, but it didn't affect the hustle and the energy of the team.
And they flustered Orlando, held them to under 100 points tonight, just 97. You got to think the Magic came into this game averaging over 120 on the road in their games this season. Hey, good defense, good offense, and it was led by Stephen Curry with that third quarter run. Again, he was flustered in the first half, 3 of 13. Thought maybe he tweaked that left ankle, but he played through it. And next thing you know, he went on a heater in that third frame. It was a Curry flurry. 15 of his 26 in the third quarter, 18 of his 26 overall in the second half. He got the 3-ball rolling, 7 of 10 overall from the floor. Went inside, went outside, and he cooked tonight against Orlando, Mully.
Yeah, and you knew it was just a matter of time before Steph found his rhythm. And I thought he did a great job playing inside the three-point line. A lot of his threes in the second half incredibly were wide open. But he got off the dribble, got past his initial defender, and had some amazing finishes in the paint.
0 for 6 in the first half. Steph Curry found his shot in the second half. It was only a matter of time, but that only happens when you take care of the basketball and you don't give the ball to the other team. I thought they did a great job of finding Steph, but Steph really started the third quarter just being in the heater. I think he came in being aggressive, 15 points in the third. That really lifted the Warriors, gave them that boost they needed, and I thought the offense also helped the defense. They just continue to play that way.
And how about this 3-game stretch for Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Buckets, he averaged 19 field goal attempts in his previous 2 games, cooked the Phoenix Suns in both of those games, and then tonight, I thought he was very aggressive at the start. Got a quick sub, right? Got a quick blow in that first quarter, 4 minutes into the game. but he scored 16 of his 21 in the first half. So it's almost like Mully, him and Steph switch. Say, hey, I got the first half, you take care of the second half. 21 for Jimmy, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, but the efficiency numbers through the roof, 7 and 9 from the floor.
Right, that's what sticks out is Jimmy's efficiency. But without Jimmy Butler in the first half, Jimmy Butler and Moses Moody both in double figures, that could have been a bigger lead. So Jimmy Butler and Moses Moody kept it close in the first half. Steph Curry took over in the second half.
A little bit of everything tonight, Bonte, from Jimmy Butler. You saw him with the ball at the top of the key, creating his own shot. You saw him with the pick and roll, with him being the ball handler and him going with Steph Curry. You saw him playing the baseline and getting the drop-off passes, finishing like a big. I mean, Jimmy Butler did a little bit of everything. You saw the three-point shot as well. All those things are what Jimmy brings to the table. He brings that plus playmaking for his teammates. I thought that second half was really telling. You saw Jimmy with all the bench players on the floor. Him with DeAnthony Melton, with Pods, with TJD, and Jimmy plays very well with those role players because he's able to really orchestrate them, make them play better than they usually play.
And Bob, he just mentioned his field goal attempts the last 2 games prior to today. And I really do think with Jimmy, it's not so much the field goal attempts, it's getting the ball in his hands and having him attack early in the shot clock. Because a lot of times he might not shoot that basketball, but when he kicks it out, there's either a wide open shot, but another drive to happen. So you need some seconds on that shot clock. So it's really important to get that ball across half court and get into Jimmy's hands as soon as possible, especially when Steph's not on the floor.
Yeah, think about that. 28 of his last 49 from the floor. Jimmy Butler, he's on a heater right now. And Moses Moody, what a welcome sight. Moses Moody, we know he always stays ready. Had been in a bit of a rut from the three-point line. Was missing his wide open threes, but tonight, hey, he was rolling. 3 of 6 from the perimeter, 8 of 11 from the floor. 20 points. I thought he played solid defense as well, Fezzi. The 50-50 balls that you mentioned. Look at him. Getting to that loose ball right there, creating an extra opportunity offensively, and he gets the bucket.
I thought Moses was the lone bright spot from the three-point line in the first half. He had 2 threes in the first half, and he just continued rolling. This is what happens when you take care of the ball. You have everybody touching the basketball, everybody involved, and Moses is going to hit these shots. He's just continued to find ways to just be available on the offensive end.
The definition of a pro. To me, Moses Moody, they used to say Kevon Looney was the heartbeat of the team and the moral compass. Yeah. I think Moses Moody's approach is very similar. He's an even keel guy. You never hear him complain. He deserves more games like this. He's always doing the little things. It's nice to see him knock down shots. But I think his approach, his daily habits never waver, whether he plays good or bad. You can rely on him. I think there's more games coming like this for him.
8 of 11, and then he'll get ready to play Klay Thompson and the Dallas Mavericks. But QP, you love the big fella.
Big
8
fella!
points, 12 rebounds, and he stopped by with KB for a little one-on-one.
Well, QP, you guys had a 1-point lead at halftime, but how did you crack this game open?
Yeah, it was a very sloppy start of the second half, especially by myself, honestly. Started slow, but I thought we played a good first half. We played solid on offense. And then end of the third, start of the fourth, we really broke it open. Steph got going. We guarded well. Yeah, that was kind of the story of the game.
Can you tell me about the role of communication in this game to stay connected?
It's a lot. I mean, we're in the middle of the season and we're trying to figure it out. But I thought we did well. We played together on defense and on offense, and yeah, you saw that in the fourth.
Yeah, 12 rebounds for you tonight. How important was it to battle on the glass?
Yeah, they're a very big physical team, so for me and Trace to get in there and hit bodies, and we both did well on the boards.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Nice night from Quentin Post in the start, 25 minutes and 11 seconds. But we'll hear from the chef on the other side. Want to know how his left ankle feels. Well, I guess it feels great, Bully, because he was doing that in the second half. He had his little dance going on, too. Looks like you on the dance floor,
John
Bully.
Travolta.
This right here felt like a turning point. Not just a win, not just another night at Chase Center, but a reminder of who the Golden State Warriors still are and why nobody in this league should ever count this team out. Back to 500 at 15-15, second straight win, and not just scraping by. They blew out the Orlando Magic by dominating the second half, outworking them, outthinking them, and flat out imposing their will. This was grown man basketball, mature basketball, The kind of game you play when you understand exactly what wins in this league. The Warriors didn't rely on hot shooting early. They didn't panic when threes weren't falling. They went to the paint, controlled the glass, protected the ball, and trusted their system. That's championship DNA showing up again. And then there's Stephen Curry. At 36 years old, still doing things that shouldn't be normal. But with Steph, normal doesn't apply. He flipped the switch in the second half like only legends do. 18 of his 26 after halftime, 15 in the third quarter alone, breaking Orlando's spirit possession by possession. When Steph gets that look in his eyes, you feel it in the building, you feel it through the screen, and the other team feels it too. This wasn't forced, this was surgical. Drives, pull-ups, threes in rhythm, finishes in traffic, pure control. But here's the most important part. This wasn't a one-man show. This was Warriors basketball the way it's supposed to be played. 32 assists, 13 turnovers, 60 points in the paint. That's not luck, that's intention, that's preparation. That's buying into the details Mike Dunleavy and Steve Kerr have been preaching all season. Take care of the ball, attack the defense, make the extra pass, and trust the read. The Warriors beat Orlando at their own game, rebounding, physicality, interior scoring, and that's what made this win statement-worthy. Brandon Podziemski was everywhere. Plus 36 tells part of the story, but the real impact was in the pace, the cuts, the defense, the willingness to do whatever the moment required. When the shot wasn't there, he attacked. When the lane opened, he finished. When teammates needed space, he created it. That's winning basketball. That's growth. That's a young player understanding what it takes to contribute on a veteran team chasing something bigger. Moses Moody deserves real respect. 20 points, efficient shooting, relentless effort. He stayed ready, stayed professional, and when his number was called, he delivered. Every championship team needs players like that. Guys who don't complain, don't disappear, and don't shy away from the moment. Moody gave this team stability when it mattered. And Jimmy Butler did exactly what stars are supposed to do. He set the tone early, carried the offense when Steph was finding his rhythm, and then seamlessly shifted roles. Efficient, physical, smart, scoring, playmaking, defending. Jimmy doesn't just play basketball, he organizes it. And the way he elevates role players is why this roster works better when he's on the floor. And then there's Quentin Post, battling inside, 12 rebounds, second chance points, rim protection, hustle plays that don't show up in highlights but swing games. The Warriors won the effort battle, and Post was a huge reason why. This game showed something important. This team can win in different ways. They don't need to live and die by the three. They can grind, they can defend, they can outwork teams. And when Steph Curry decides it's time, they can explode. Now Christmas Day is coming. Dallas is coming. National spotlight, Chase Center energy, and suddenly the conversation feels different. This doesn't look like a team fading away. This looks like a team finding its identity again, stacking habits, building confidence, and reminding the league that Golden State is never done until the lights are out. Dub Nation, let me know what you saw in this win. Is this the version of the Warriors you've been waiting for? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you felt this performance, and make sure you're subscribed to Warriors Nation News, because this season is far from over.